Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 3, chapter number 20, text number 38. 37?
37.
37. Iti sayantanim sandhyam asuraha pramaddayatim talobhyantim jagruhur matva mūḍha-dhiyaḥ striyam iti satyantinam sandhyam asura pramaddayatim talobhyatim jagruhur matva mūḍha-dhiyaḥ striyam
सायन्तिनीं सन्ध्याम् असुराः प्रमदायतीं प्रलोभ्यान्तीं जगृहुः मत्वा मूढधियाः स्त्रीम्
इति सायन्तनीं सन्ध्याम् असुरः प्रमदायते प्रलोभयन्तीं जगरुर् मत्वा मूढा-धियाः स्त्रियम्
इति सायन्तनीं सन्ध्याम् असुरः प्रमदायतीं प्रलोभयन्तीं जगरुः मत्वा मूढधियाः स्त्रियम्
iti in this way sayantanim the evening sandhyam twilight asuraha the demons pramaddayatim behaving like a wanton woman alobhyan tim alluring jagruhu seized matva thinking to be mūḍha-dhiyaḥ unintelligent striyam a woman. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The asuras, clouded in their understanding, took the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman, showing herself in her alluring form, and they seized her. Translation with repetition. The asuras, clouded in their understanding, took the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman, showing herself in her alluring form, and they seized her. Purport. The suras are described here as mūḍha-dhiyaḥ, meaning they are captivated by ignorance, just like the ass. The demons were captivated by the false, glaring beauty of this material form, and thus they embraced her. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Shivanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Once a grandfather was telling a story to his grandson. He was mentioning that in each one of us there are two bulls. One who is wicked, one who is always troublemaker, and there's another wolf within us who is always encouraging, speaking good words. So the grandson, after hearing this, and then the grandpa also told that there's a fight between these two wolves. So the grandson asked, which wolf will win this fight? So the answer was, the one which you feed. So in us, each one of us, there is asura also. Although we are trying to become devotees, we have joined this movement. There is an asura, demoniac being within us. Devotee and demon, although macro definition is that one who is a devotee of Krishna is one who is not a devotee is asura. It's a broad definition. But we should realize that there is an asura sitting within us. Asuric tendencies are there. And that's why you see here, the asuras clouded in their understanding. Many times our understanding gets clouded. Many times sense gratification also we can fall for. Mistakes can happen. So, who will win, the asura within us or the devotee who is the devotee persona which is building up? Who will win? Depends on whom we feed. Now, what is the feed? Our morning class, reading Prabhupada books, chanting, morning sadhana is the feed. If you feed this more, the devotee persona will build. The asura which is there within us will shrink. And if we get lax in the sadhana, stop reading, do prajalpa, spend a lot of time gossiping, social media, then the asura will start blossoming. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Based on the sanga, satsanga, then the devotee persona, sura, the devotee within us will blossom. Otherwise, asura will blossom. The conditioned soul sometimes personally appreciates the futility of sense enjoyment in the material world and is sometimes considered material enjoyment to be full of miseries. However, due to his strong bodily conception, his memory is destroyed and again he runs after material enjoyment just as an animal runs after mirage in the desert. we all are conditioned soul. Conditioned soul means there are some tendencies, there are some habits, there is some past vasanas sitting within us. So here it is mentioned, because of bodily concept, his memory is destroyed, and again he runs after material enjoyment, just as an animal runs after a mirage in the desert. Sometimes even a devotee can feel perplexed. I am trying to surrender, I am practicing Krishna consciousness, I am chanting, still why I am getting attracted? Still why I get tempted? Still why I do fall for sense gratification? So this is the meaning of conditioning. At a yantra level, there are some habitual responses, habit loops, habitual programs which are running. Moment there is a trigger, those habitual responses come forth. Krishna and Prabhupada are very tolerant. Such mistakes, while we are attempting to come out of the conditioning, while we are attempting sincerely to become devotees, such habitual responses, such habitual fall downs, Krishna and Prabhupada are very tolerant. Just like a child when he is trying to walk, small child, baby, it is expected that initially it will fall down. It takes 2 steps, it falls down, it falters. The parents know that the child will fall down, and hence they are very tolerant. They encourage, they celebrate small wins. So likewise, the difference between the devotee and the demon, is that the devotee is trying his best, but there may be accidental fall downs because of his conditioning, because of bodily concept of life. And he is repentant, he feels sad, he begs forgiveness, and then learns from his mistake, and then again gets up and moves forward. Whereas a demon, there is no guilt feeling. They feel it is their birthright to enjoy. Sense gratification is the goal of life. So we also should factor in this point. There is conditioning. We are having bodily concept of life. We are on the path of purification. It's a journey. It may take some time. There may be some occasional mistakes. We all know the 4 steps. Before we came to Krishna consciousness, we were in a stage which is called hopeless defeat. Hopeless defeat. Fully in ignorance, sense gratification is the goal, pursuing sense gratification with full force, no guilt feeling, completely in ignorance. So that's called hopeless defeat. And then all of us have some experience of the next stage, which is called struggle and defeat. It's a struggle, trying to control the senses, trying to remember some instructions. And in spite of trying, in spite of attempting, still there will be some mistakes at times, and that stage is called struggle and defeat. Struggle is there not to get defeated, but still Maya being strong, allurement being very strong, because of bodily concept, struggle and defeat. And then if a devotee is advanced, is sincere, then the third stage will soon come, and that is struggle and victory. It's not effortless victory. Struggle and victory. He still has to control his senses, still has to remember the codes. There's a struggle, but sizable number of time, majority of occasions, it's victory. And then a devotee reaches a stage called effortless victory. Effortless victory, just like Prabhupada, or for that matter, we have Haridas Thakur. There is no struggle. Dead of night, a woman coming and giving a proposal to enjoy. There is no struggle. So, that stage is possible. And we will gradually elevate to that stage if we are sincere in our desire for purification, in our journey of purification. If we are sincerely following the instructions. See here it says, due to his strong bodily concept, his memory is destroyed, and again he runs after material, just like an animal runs after mirage in the desert. Why he runs again and again? Because it's like mirage in a desert. The animal is thirsty, but the mirage, there is a promise of water. So likewise, conditioned soul in bodily concept of life, sense gratification is the means for happiness. It's the only means for happiness. Enjoy the senses, sense and sense objects, when they come in touch with each other, there is a sensation of pleasure, and to maximize that is a goal. That's why you see modern advancement is based on this principle, how we can maximize sense gratification so that we can maximize our pleasure. And this conception, this understanding is there in a conditioned soul, in the bodily concept of that. And we all are pleasure-seeking beings. Anandamayo bhyasa. The soul by nature is seeking pleasure. If the conception, if in bodily conception of life, if this is the natural understanding that by sense gratification I will get a natural consequence, if a soul wants to seek pleasure, will be to pursue sense gratification. That's why the other day we were discussing personas. If bodily concept is there, I am the body, everything is meant for my enjoyment. If that persona is there, that ego is there, then controlling senses is very difficult. Bodily concept, I am this body, sense gratification will give me enjoyment. If that persona is there, that ego is there, then using mind and intelligence to control the senses is very difficult. That's why our spiritual life, there are many methods of artificially controlling the mind and senses also. The sense gratification, many people have realized, even karmis have realized. So there are many methods, there are many techniques, there are many strategies, there are many people are talking about so many things, some do's and don'ts, some rules and regulations, what can be followed. But Krishna consciousness, rasovajyam rasopyasya param trishva nivardhate, is acting at the level of cultivating real ego. What is real ego? I am servant of Krishna. I am not the enjoyer. I have to give pleasure to Krishna. My real pleasure in experiencing prasadam pleasure which we get by serving Krishna. That's why it says, Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Now, how soon this real ego will develop? It's all in the hands of a sadhaka. No doubt it happens by the mercy of spiritual master. Once Prabhupada was asked, how much time will it take for liberation? Prabhupada said, 1 second. Or it may not happen over many lifetimes. So, if we are sincerely trying, begging the Lord, praying to the Lord, and very sincere in following the instructions, then the purification will happen very quickly. In the forest of material existence, once Prabhupada, when he went to America, one devotee asked Prabhupada during a morning walk, what was your program when you came to America? What was your plan? So Prabhupada said, my plan was, I was thinking that moment I say no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, they'll kick me out. They'll throw me out of the country. Nobody is going to listen to me. Then Prabhupada laughed. That was, I was thinking, who in this country will allow me to speak that you should not eat meat, you should not gamble, not have illicit sex? There's so much rampant. They'll kick me out. Then the devotee said, but Prabhupada, you are very expert. First year of your preaching, you never talked about all these 4 prohibitions. Then Prabhupada says, yes. First year, I just invited them to come and chant. And soon, they themselves came to the platform of no meat eating, no intoxication. So, which is what Krishna is saying, raso varjyam raso pyasya param drishtva nivartate. Artificially, vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. It's very difficult for a conditioned soul. Why it's difficult? Why it's difficult? Because we are pleasure-seeking beings. And conditioned soul, bodily concept means sense gratification will give me pleasure. And you cannot deny it. If a man sees a beautiful woman, there is no, you cannot deny that there is no pleasure there. It's pleasurable. You can experience pleasure. How can you convince that person that this thing that this is not pleasurable? And he is pleasure-seeking being. So that's why Krishna consciousness is how to come out of this bodily concept of life. How to cultivate Krishna consciousness. The more we come out of this bodily concept of life, the more we become Krishna conscious, the more we realize that I am Jivera Swarup Hoy Nityara Krishna Das, the more we will be able to give up sense gratification. Once Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, you have given us so many books, Ishupnishads, Rajvidya, so many books. Is there a particular order in which we have to read these books? No doubt Prabhupada has given some order also, which book to read first one. In this particular occasion, Prabhupada said, they all are nectar. Whatever you read is nectar. Only when we taste nectar, which Krishna is talking about, raso varjam raso piyasya param drishtva nivartate. If we relish nectar, real nectar, spiritual pleasure, then only we'll be able to give up material pleasure. Prabhupada has given us so many things to experience spiritual pleasure. So many things. Transcendental ammunition to fight war against Maya. Chanting, reading, prasadam, kirtans, association of devotees, satsang, visit to dhams. So we all have to make best use of these opportunities. It's a fact that it's war against Maya. And there was a devotee, one sannyasi, during Prabhupada's time. He went astray. He even left his ISKCON and started staying in Radhakund. And he even started smoking, started engaging in illicit activities, including womanizing and all that. So when news came to Prabhupada was very sad, out of compassion. And then, because of so many mistakes which he did, he was finally arrested by police. And that news also came to Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada said, very good. He should be punished. Then Prabhupada gives example that when there is a boil, when you go to a doctor, if the doctor does small surgery, cuts the oil, removes the pus and all that thing, it is good. It may be painful for the time, but if that is not attended to, it will be more troublesome in the future. So likewise, Krishna also sanctions punishment, some pain. That's why you see many times devotees, when the fall down comes with lot of infamy. Krishna and Prabhupada are tolerant. Occasional fall downs, some mistakes, they are very tolerant. But if it is premeditated, if it is very frequent, if it is deliberate effort again and again, then they will not be reluctant to even give us some punishment. And Prabhupada says such punishment is good. In future anyway we have to suffer. Better to suffer now. And so devotee, that way, in any case, any reversal happens, he does not say, why me? Why it is happening to me? Sometimes you know, what did I do? Why it is happening to me? I never did anything wrong. Something we consciously remember. Many things we have done in the past unconsciously. Consciously also so many mistakes we have. So when such reversals happen, Krishna gives this thing, we should know it's for our purification. The problem happens if purification is not the goal, if social prestige is the goal. What devotees will think about me is the goal, then there's a problem. If purification is a problem, then any such reversal is welcome. Yes, I deserve it. It's for my good. I have come here not to become a great devotee. I have not come here to become a big devotee. I have come here to become a devotee. So, when the flame in a lamp burns the wick improperly, the lamp is blackened. But when the lamp is filled with ghee, it is burning properly. There is bright illumination. Similarly, when the mind is absorbed in material sense gratification, it causes suffering. And when detached from material sense gratification, it brings about the original brightness of Krishna consciousness. So we all have an opportunity to lead a life of bright Krishna consciousness or a compromised life. Bright Krishna consciousness, experiencing reciprocation of the Lord. And Krishna is very, very merciful, very, very tolerant. He is a gentleman. He will not force. You want to enjoy sense gratification also. Okay. We should always pray to Krishna that we are weak and Maya is very strong. So seek for his protection in every step so that Maya may not inflict upon us her trident injuries. Perhaps you have seen the picture of Durga carrying the trident in her hand, which is a symbol of the threefold miseries of material existence. Maya's most attractive feature is women and money. We Krishna consciousness men have to deal with women and money in course of our preaching work, and the only measure to save us is not to accept them for sense gratification, then we shall remain strong enough. So that's why Bhagavatam says, Anyada yavat arthakrit. Nanav agni pramada nama krita kumbha samakuman. Women is compared to fire. Grita kumbha, man is compared to a pot of ghee. Now, in the preaching movement, there is interaction required. Interaction is, we cannot avoid. Even money, dealing with money. Women and money are considered a big obstacle for someone who is progressive in Krishna consciousness. Many people, Prabhupada writes, many people have Maya's most attractive feature is woman and money. And we are in the preaching of movement, so we have to deal with both money and women. So we Krishna conscious men have to deal with women and money in course of preaching work, and the only measure to save us is not to accept them for our sense gratification. See, this Maya is very, very subtle, very, very subtle. Even when we are preaching, mind will say it's preaching, but there is a rasa. Sense gratification also is accompanying that preaching. That's why there's a code of conduct, the do's and don'ts. So, not to accept them for even money. Like other day we were talking about, whatever donations we receive, we should offer to Krishna. Because if we use for our personal sense gratification without offering to Krishna, without authorized expense, then we can get contaminated. Not accept them for sense gratification. How it is not sense? What is authorized? What is given to us as prasada? Regarding Brahmananda, he is actually surrendered soul. But Maya is so strong that on account of association, he has even fallen down. So these two things are always there side by side, Maya and Krishna. So that's why I was saying, we may be devotee, but we should know that there is a demon sitting within us. Maya is also there. Krishna is service and Maya is sense gratification. So every moment we are prone to be subjected by either of them. Our duty is therefore to be very, very careful. The poison is personal ambition. So anyone has the chance, therefore one should not be complacent. Doubts may come about, but one should be firmly fixed up that there cannot be any doubt in the spiritual master or Krishna. No one should neglect to control the mind. If one does, the mind becomes so powerful that one immediately forgets his real position. Forgetting that he is an eternal servant of Krishna and the service of Krishna is his only business, one is doomed by material nature to serve the objects of the senses. One should kill mental concoction by the sword of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to his devotees. Once Srila Prabhupada in the storefront in New York, when he opened this thing, in initial days, as we know Prabhupada, in the initial days they invited him to come chant. He did not tell many rules and regulations. And quite understandably they were all into many sinful activities, hippies. So next to the storefront, the immediate next shop was an ice cream shop. And in the corner of that street was a donut shop. So all the devotees who started coming for Bhagavad Gita class and all those things in the storefront. After the class would get over, you would see most of them either in the ice cream shop or in the donut shop. And Prabhupada would sometimes, after the class, when he would come out, you would see the devotee sitting in the ice cream shop. And sometimes when he would walk, he would be in the donut shop. And when Prabhupada would look at them, some would hide their face. And then, in one of the bhagavatam class, Prabhupada mentions, we should try to eat whatever is offered to Krishna. We should not eat donuts. We should not eat ice cream. No, ice cream, donuts also, if it's offered to Krishna, can be eaten. But he was referring to that shops, going and eating it for just sense gratification. We should eat Krishna prasada. So, senses are always getting allured. And today's world, why this Swiggy, Zomato, they're all making big profits. I was telling the other day, I reached late Bombay and I was going up the lift. It was 1:30 in the night. Flight got delayed and it was late in the night. And that Swiggy person was going up the lift, 1:30. So I was curious, I asked him, रात में भी orders आते हैं? लोग लेते हैं? पूरी रात आता है? मैंने कहा रेस्टोरेंट बंद नहीं होते? बाहर से बंद होते हैं, सामने का डोर बंद होता है, पीछे से सब चालू है. So, sense gratification has become order of the day, and Maya has facilitated that it has become very, very easily accessible. Just imagine, we are fortunate, we have come out of it, we have probably joined at the right time. Imagine just if you write donuts in Swiggy, you'll get 40 shops, different types of donuts, different types of, and in 10 minutes delivery. Not only donuts, anything, any ice cream, any donut, any sandwich, any this. I remember when I was in college, there was a civil hospital about 6-7 kilometers from our hostel. In those days, there was no Swiggy, Zomato, or there was no internet. Very different life. But Swiggy, Zomato was there, sense gratification was there. Maya was also there. It's been there since time immemorial. At 1:30 in the night, because anyway people sleep late, and because it was a civil hospital, there was a canteen outside the civil hospital, and that was because people are admitted in the hospital, they will need something to eat, some attendance of the patients. So it was open throughout the night. All other shops would close. So I remember many times we have gone with the friend cycling, but on the cycle, 8 whatever kilometers, just to eat malai vada in that shop. At 1:30 in the night, the tongue is saying, I want to eat, I want to eat. So, today's world, it's all the more alluring. Maya has facilitated the whole thing. Kale doshanidhe rajan. So it's very difficult. But if one is sincere, if one is sincerely attempting, trying, following the rules, understanding what Prabhupada is saying, the instructions, what Bhagavatam is saying, how the sense gratification, although it is pleasurable, it is dukkha, it will give us misery. yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukha yona hi evate, the source of misery. So we should realize how fortunate we are. That whole pravaha, that whole current, the whole wave of sense gratification, everyone is getting, so to say, when the floods come, everyone is flown away. The current is so huge. That's the current which Maya has now. And that's why you see so much people are having different kinds of sickness, diseases, all kind of life, because unlimited options are there for eating, drinking, smoking. And Maya has facilitated all that. If you don't have higher knowledge, if sense gratification, the understanding is sense gratification will give me pleasure and I want to seek pleasure, I'm a pleasure-seeking being, then we'll fall for it. So it's a hopeless defeat if we don't have Krishna consciousness. It's a hopeless defeat, more so in present times. Hopeless defeat. And we are fortunate, yes, in Krishna consciousness, sometimes defeats happen because there is a demon within us, sense gratification because of some bodily conception is there, inclination is there. But at least we have the knowledge. We know the right path. We may give astray, maybe for a few times, at least, no, this is wrong. Quickly we come to our senses. So, we should diligently try to follow, be spiritually strong, feed the devotee persona by regular chanting, reading, hearing, association, no prajalpa, no loose talks. And then we will see those 4 stages I talked about. Quickly, very fast we'll move those stages. And we'll reach a state effortlessly. There's no struggle. You're just ananda, complete bliss of Krishna consciousness. How fast we'll move, how fast we'll reach the top stage, depends on us. Depends on us inside. Start with Vrindavan, Bhagavatam.